Hello, Kingsman. Welcome back to the Napoleonic Total War 3 battlefield. Today we have another epic matchup in one of the tournaments. This is the Templars versus the, all I saw was XW. Not sure what that stands for. Someone probably will say in the comments. But another tournament on Pomerania 2. So as you can see, I'm showcasing a lot of cavalry here. So for the coalition, which honestly I don't know who's playing what. We'll see which side the Templars in the XW clan are on. But this 7-point Austria, they brought all cav and maybe like one line infantry to like take this 4-pointer in the very back, or 1-pointer, whatever it is. And then they brought a bunch of cavalry here. They brought 2 Kazakis for some scouting potentially. They brought a Hussar, a Lancer Ulanin, another Dragoon, and a Heavy, I do believe. So beefy, heavy units. We will see. This kind of reminds me of like 8.9 Saxony. So like back when the coalition could bring like a very beefy cav faction. It looks like that's what they're doing with this. They're playing almost like a cav core of sorts. Now, of course, they are backing up the Prussians, who this is why I love the tournaments. They obviously are working together and they planned this. Prussia brought no cav. They brought a lot of just musketeers, and in fact a lot of squareable musketeers, some grenadiers as well. So Prussia, which is a very good shooty faction, they're gonna definitely be able to bring a lot of power, and I think this is a very strong build combination for this left side. Let's see what's on the right side here, because we have a 9-point HRE. They brought just a standard army. They have artillery, they have infantry. Looks like they have some of the line infantry, as well as a couple like maybe militia units. Then of course some cavalry, the dragoons, and then a hussar unit for scouting, of course their general, and they have 1 infantry here, the Free Corps, whatever it's called. It's like grenadiers going for this other LOC up here, making sure they take it. They obviously very aggressive with their cav right off the start here, pushing back any French so they can take as much ground as possible. Now we do have France maybe trying to go for the Prussian general, running some of his cav up. Didn't work so well for these dragoons. They obviously stopped because they probably saw lots of Prussian infantry. The last coalition force is a 9-point UK Portugal, and they aren't bringing any cav either, guys. So kind of evening out with this side. And I'm sure the 7-point Austria is going to play cav on both sides and like kind of support both. They're bringing King's German Legion, a lot of line infantry, a couple Portuguese units are intermixed in there. But yeah, I'm excited to see where this battle's going to go. There's a obvious focal point here for this town. I'm so excited I'm like talking over myself, if that's even possible. Now let's kind of see if we can take a look at what the French are bringing. For those of you who know the uniforms well enough to know what factions are which. The first French army to advance here in quite solid uniform fashion. So they have an attacking line pushing up here. Hussars, dragoons. Ooh, they do. So they have, no, these are the Immortals. They're a smaller unit. But obviously not too small here. Well, we got a cav charge here as they're trying to go in. Of course, they're going to form a square, and that's going to hurt these dragoons. These guys obviously are going to do well. Combat gen up to protect the grenadiers who are going into the house. An excellent choice of the grenadiers for the house. They can kind of hold this focal point, and they have the advantage. They can set more of the pace, having a defensive line to fall back on. Now you can see they have some skirmishers up here already picking away at the infantry. You can see they're starting to really stack up the LOC capture points. They have this one. I know they have the one on the far right side. It does look like the focal point for the coalition and the Imperials right now is in the center LOC point, and France is not stopping here. They are marching directly up to the point. Infantry supported by dragoons, more infantry pushing up on this left side. Obviously that is why the HRE formed up. We are seeing our first regular volleys. Prussia starting to pick off the French as they advance. You can see a couple French dead, already littered. They are going to return fire, I'm assuming. If they don't start firing soon, then they are going to start dying really fast because Prussia has excellent stats. We do have a huge cav charge here. 1 unit, of course, but it still looks huge. Going against some French dragoons. So dragoons of the the 7-point Austria already starting to make themselves known on this field. H already forming up here in order to get some flanking fire. France is going directly into what almost looks like a lead meat grinder here. So if France can close in, get some melee, this could be good. Man, they're gonna get volleyed. France is so close here. They are going to drop. Oh my gosh, they're gonna break instantly. France is not prepared for this whatsoever. Now they are sending in some line infantry against the Grenadier unit. They have taken yet another LOC. France definitely has their work cut out for them already. I mean, man, the coalition has a very solid line. France is having to take that initiative, pushing up here. They have a lot of troops massed up right here. This flank looks concerning. They do not have a lot of troops at all on this flank against the HRE. They have line infantry, looks like some Polish infantry, as well as some light infantry. No, these are some more Polish line infantry here. Here comes some reserves. So we have some Voltigeurs. So, you know, they're getting their better units in, some better quality line infantry as well. France already has taken a couple losses here. And France, my prediction, guys, France is not going to hold this front against Prussia. They are going to fold in. These are tiny units that France has. At this point, they have lost any chance of throwing in a lot of melee and taking this LOC. I would fall back and restructure, reform, get your artillery up, and maybe try to pressure that way, because the coalition have a solid defensive line. I mean, it is in position, and the coalition looks like they're not even going to let the French even really reform here. They're going straight up to the attack here. And they are on the offensive, guys, and their units are very large, and they have not taken that many losses. Some of these guys haven't even lost a single man. But France is reforming out. France has a lot of milling around here, trying to form their lines. They have units in front of units. These poor guys seem to be stuck out in front by themselves while the French form up. Obviously, they're looking to push their better quality line infantry up, maybe. But France obviously is scrambling here to form up a frontal line. Man, look at this, too. This place is obviously a bad part for France, which is probably why they're setting up all their artillery here. Oh, we have some guard artillery. Very, very deadly accurate and very fast shooting. Italian artillery as well. Now they need to get them in position and start firing if they want to, you know, utilize that. They have a lot of cavalry here, some cuirassiers, and a lot of line of tree shifting over. So France is starting to get an opportunity here. Now there is a cav charge here. Some of those heavies going in against the Ledoux. Of course, they have to watch their side because there is some more. Ooh, these look like Italian heavy dragoons. But a lot of cav milling around. Oh, I love it. So much good quality cav on this flank, and more crosshairs pushing up. So this fight, France is starting to really show their hand here. This artillery, it looks like they're going to focus directly in this center area. They're setting up like a grand battery of sorts. The Imperial artillery. Okay. You don't got to do your French boys that way, though. Good lord. Those poor guys holding the line so artillery can set up, and then they get just slaughtered. That's awful. All right, so now the Imperials' problems will... Oh, actually, never mind. Reinforcements are showing up just in the nick of time. And we have Prussians. Prussians v. Prussians. Oh, they have some Swiss as well. And look at the sappers. So some Prussians on the French side. This will be interesting. Of course, the HRE are going to try to capitalize on the Imperials not being totally formed up here. Do we have a huge cap charge here? I apologize, guys. A huge cap charge. Ledoux going in. Those heavy dragoons going in. More French. Wow, they're using their heavies. There is a lot of cav engagement here. Unfortunately, the Uladin have broken, and France seems to have gotten a flank. Oh, if France wins this flank, this could be a huge... Oh, my gosh. Hold that thought, too, because if France went in for a melee, they are fully attacking and assaulting the French, or the coalition position. So far, things are looking okay, but there are more masses, and there's a can't talk. There's a French heavy cap charge trying to hit the side corner of the Prussians. Prussia is getting focused down here. They've broken quite a lot of the French. The same time over here, more cavalry going in, trying to maybe break all this artillery. You can see they have routed basically it all. France is falling back in disarray. The UK, our HRE can start pushing up and taking on this flank before they can form up. Because at the same time, France seems to have broken away Prussia. Now, Prussia is still in this fight. They still have some musketeers. Their cav, unfortunately, is still tied up against the vastly superior numbers of French cav. And you can see they, unfortunately, are breaking here. More and more French pressuring forward here. These musketeers, they're just getting bayonet charged, unfortunately. And they got to fall back. They got to reform. They are doing so well over on this side, I would say. Especially with the British getting in the fight with so many really good quality line infantry units. And they got the Green Rascals, the lights. They got a lot of lights. And it's good line infantry. They're going to shred this French line. But they have to really, really work hard because Prussia is definitely feeling the pressure here. And the flank is caving just because of that elite cavalry that France brought. You can see so dominant. Now this cav is exhausted probably, and it's gonna have to take time to rest up, but they are throwing in some of these dragoons that probably aren't as exhausted as they're breaking more and more Prussians. Prussia trying to reform here, but Ledoux not giving them a chance. They're just cutting them down. Ledoux maybe almost finished though. I mean, they're probably exhausted. This is the opportunity for France to follow up with these routing troops and keep pressuring this weak corner. Now they are pushing forward. Grenadiers and line infantry here. Grenadiers are the ones smacking into this line. Hopefully you guys can hear me over the roar of musket fire and melee. This left flank is falling back. Looks like the HRE maybe they could throw their cav. All the French cavs over here, they could throw cav in here and help break this side or even break this center for France. France is shifting over more reserves to this corner. And France is closing in. They have some more grenadiers, but they're dropping fast. Uh-oh, Prussia is caving, guys. Prussia needs to reform. HRE need to reform their flank. They are in danger of getting totally routed here. A chain route could go down the line. HRE already getting charged on the flank here by some of the... Is this Old Guard? Or just Grenadiers that look amazing? Yeah, HRE falling back. They have to fall back here. Let the UK push that flank and fall back and readjust. Kind of maybe if they anchor off this LOC, they can hold. You can see the HRE threw some of their line infantry troops over here. They need some squares, which they do have. And France seems to now be ignoring this small cluster of Prussians, and they are going straight down the line. Oh, the exposed coalition. Uh-oh. The HRE are kind of eating this charge, but they can only do that so many times. As more and more French pressure this attack, it is getting brutal, guys. It is... Oh, what? What? Oh, the HRE going in to focus to the side with the UK, so things are not lost. Prussia broke. If they can start breaking, they broke the general over here with their cap, and they may actually get the dragoons out of there. They're forcing the French to shift over so many reserves, as the UK can just dice up these French, these Swiss and Prussian traitors, as they would view it. As France is in full retreat, they lost their general. They don't want to lose their morale. At the same time, you can see France is counterattacking here, and the UK thankfully have a reserve line, and what they can start doing is setting it up to shoot at them as they try charging down the flank here. Now over on this side, the HRE, oh, this is looking bad. This is really looking bad for them. They're trying to hold as best they can. Free Corps in the back, trying to hold back the general in the front, inspiring his men, hoping to rally them so they can perform feats of insanity, as you call it. I think this was a counterattack, maybe to just scare off the UK troops. Man, is this Imperial Guard? It looks like a lot of it. Whoa. That's dangerous. That looks dangerous. That's some good quality infantry. Whether or not it's the Imperial Guard or not. So it looks like the Prussians seem to have reorganized, restructured. They can still take this. HRE actually have a beautiful flank here. They gotta watch out some French on the flank as well of their own, but the French are running themselves into like a shootout here where the Imperials are just gonna get eaten alive. Now there's Cap in the back lines. They gotta watch out for it. France going into the bayonet charge, but Prussia seems to have kind of staunched the massive gash. HRE still throwing in cavalry, trying to stop the French from being able to form up here. And as you can see, they're just volleying these squares, and they are going to start killing Prussians. And these are like, for the coalition, this is the good kind of Prussians to kill, you know? But France, oh my, look at the morale. Without their general there, they keep taking shots, and their men are starting to break. So that may have been actually a game-changing play, killing the general of this Prussia, France. And you can see France is actually totally falling back after such a successful swing around on the flank. I think the coalition may have actually stabilized. They may have actually managed to force back the Imperials, and they still hold basically the same line they did before. The French cav has not been as active, probably resting it up, but they got to be wary for it. HRE probably going to lose this line infantry unit against the French, as they are dying in droves. That's right, get it. But the brave HRE Prussia force is holding this LOC, guys. They are not backing up an inch. They have troops on all sides. They have a squarable against the French cav. And look at how the lines have totally and utterly shifted. The UK, of course, have to be careful not pushing too fast because there are French troops sitting here with some cavalry, and they could be a thorn in their side, even be deadly in the side of the UK. Of course, they are shifting over troops to deal with it. Man, they could, if they could stop and get a couple volleys in against the French as they're retreating, they could really rout the French flank. All right, so the French definitely, as I was saying before, my child coming in almost sabotaged my recording. Yeah, the French just have to find a stopping point here to make a stand. I mean, they got a beautiful flank here, which is forcing the French to actually, or the not the French, the UK army to fall back and pause because they can't ignore 4 line infantry plus a unit that is coming back. Obviously, I'd say the French flank, the French weakness right now is this left flank. No general on this side means they're probably gonna have to shift over a French general to help bolster that morale. I don't know what the French have in reserve. They have some troops shifting up here. But it looks like they have artillery also set up. And I've not seen a lot of the coalition's artillery, if they even have some. Do they even have any? I've not seen a single bit of artillery for the coalition. I know they had a 5-pounder. The HRE had a 5-pounder, but I don't know where it is. There it is. It got broken. So the artillery is definitely lacking in this field, and that's not a bad thing. These armies are so mobile that honestly, the French seem to have thrown the most into artillery, and it all died. Where was it? Right here. You can see all of these guns that have just gotten demolished, and that was a lot of gold the French had. So, you know, that was a win definitely for the coalition, making them lose all that gold without probably getting a lot of kills. Now, it does look like the French are going to maybe hold up here and form their lines, potentially. We'll see. Maybe they're going to... Yeah, it looks like they're starting to form up here. And there's that reserve I was talking about. So France has the reserves. What a beautiful shot. Windmill, the smoke. The lines advancing, the masses of infantry. Just gorgeous. And the coalition falling back once more. Oh, the Coldstream Guards are up in the front here. Now, France probably is going to try to... Oh, France going in. They form square. A bayonet charge as well. But be cautious. This is Coldstream Guard, supported by more line infantry. You got some Fusiliers, the Royal Goats as well. Oh, they're falling back totally. They're taking... Ooh, oh my gosh. Oh, more Imperial Guard artillery. They just canistered the Coldstream Guard and took them down by... I mean, they've lost quite a lot. And they still have not fired a volley. Now they're firing. But the French are pushing forward here. You see all along the line. Man, they are really pushing this. Now, what the UK have here is a very good melee unit to protect. I mean, they have a lot of solid melee, so they aren't afraid to let the French... I mean, obviously, they don't want the French to probably melee as much as they want to be able to shoot the Imperials. They honestly would do a lot better if they can shoot, because they will start breaking the French so fast. Now, over here, you can see this French army is just so... The morale is so wavery. They lost their general, so this light infantry, they hopefully will stay in, but it's going to force a French general to shift over here to help. And actually, all the generals are on this side, because that's where they desperately need it. Although at the same time, man, France just can't buckle down this center, and the UK seem to just be shattering them. You can see they're going to start bumping out here, like almost like a spearhead, kind of breaking the French in two. And France is going to have to use some like roads to quickly mobilize some reinforcements here. They got to have something that will hold a candle to the elite UK line infantry who are just killing them. Look at the dead bodies, my gosh. Artillery is starting to really focus down. Prussia actually has plenty of troops left, considering that the troops routed. France is focusing maybe on dealing with this LOC. They have to take some LOCs in order to win this tournament. Actually, there is a French troops going for this LOC over here as well. And I hear more drumming, so they're going for LOCs. Definitely going for LOCs. And more French focusing down here. Oh, the coalition. They gotta be so careful. They have this right now, but they could easily lose it. There's 36 minutes remaining. Plenty of time for fighting, and it looks like the Imperials are charging in for this LOC. Some Chevalier Lancers maybe trying to help out, but thankfully Prussia had a bayonet or a square bowl. We have some Grenadiers here. The HRE, now they could definitely help out with a melee, as France is trying to get this LOC, but of course the entrance is right here, which is going to make it very rough for them. The coalition definitely is weak on this side and strong on this side, but they are so stretched thin. The UK are holding a very large area, and you can see the tow rows are getting bayonet charged, as well as cavalry charging them, so they are going to have to be trying to hold. This is a desperate hold here. And looks like their flag bearer is down. They are probably going to break. More infantry getting charged by some cav. Uh-oh, the UK are just, they're covering such a huge area with such a small army. This may be a little rough. Ooh, France is really throwing forward a lot of troops here, and they have lost quite a lot. They have some Cuirassiers now charging in. Look at the impact, how deep in the lines this cav goes. And they are breaking a ton of coalition forces right here on this flank. France may actually clutch this out. It's been back and forth though. I love these tournament battles. They are just so good. This is another nasty fight in which someone obviously will have to come out on top. I see massive routing on both sides. Cavalry on both sides getting thrown in. Light infantry. Beautiful flanking volley by the Green Rascals here. trying to break some of these cuirassiers, and it looks like they actually managed to take a W out of that whole clash. In fact, they are pressuring the attack. France is being forced once more to withdraw. So I would say in the end of that whole thing, a benefit for the coalition. Now, unfortunately, there are reinforcements rushing in behind this line. That is going to be a bunch of trouble. The coalition is going to have to make a huge decision here. Oh, wow. What a huge mass rout. That general really hurt. Losing the general really hurt this whole army. But they have to keep pressuring the attack, and they actually have to start pressuring. No, they're actually going to turn around and face the French here. They threw back a lot of the French army. They are going to now reform here with some of their troops along with the HRE. UK look like they're actually going to pull back and let the HRE. Now, the French should push in here and sandwich the coalition if they can. They're still fighting for this LOC, and they seem to be doing quite well here. They're hitting some squares, though. It's got to be really cautious not to throw away their heavy cav, but they have plenty of it, and it's really actually saving the day for them, I'd say, multiple times. I don't know. This looks rough for the coalition. This looks very rough. I think now the French are going to start considering LOCs. This is going to turn into an LOC race. French are ignoring the LOC for now. They're trying to rout the remainder of the Prussians around this LOC before attacking it, so that there's no... Alright, so we have our first building that has been captured here. The French have taken this. What is this? This is a 1 point. These are all 1 points. Oh gosh, what... Alright, there we go. Fixed it. Nothing to fear. Yeah. Looks like the coalition is just going to pressure this attack. See, they can't break up the French a bit by bit. They have time. They have time. France looks like they're coming to the rescue. The French ally, they're going to try to hit them from 3 sides. This is basically a race for what's left of the coalition. And yep, they're definitely going to try to pressure here. France probably should slide this direction, or they could sacrifice themselves to stand in line long enough for this French army to get up and be able to hit their flank on both sides here. And this army should keep pressuring. If they can box them in, it's over. Oh, the Prussians are getting bayonet charged. Got cavalry as well. These poor Prussians, they have had a rough fight here, and it may be all but over. But bravely, they keep pressing on as their ally. Ooh, that's unfortunate. Ledoux going bravely to their death. None of them want to survive. They feel like, you know, they don't ever flee. I don't know. That was unfortunate. Ooh. Oh. Dang. That was brutal. But now the coalition have to defend their flanks as well as pressure, so they are still working hard to keep the French off their back, and that is the majority of the what's left of the coalition. There's a small, you know, couple units here and there and everywhere, but that's it. This is the rest of the fight, guys. And I don't think it's gonna be. I think it's been a coalition victory. No, sorry, not a coalition victory. An LOC victory for France, because the coalition just don't have enough troops. Unless they can break a ton of French all at once, it's not going to probably happen. And they are going as fast as they can to not be caught. But the French are going to start massing up whatever they have. And there come more of them. Oh, look, these guys are chilling. They're playing polo, you know? Playing ultimate frisbee. Frisbee golf. They're playing golf. There we go. Bunch of Cossacks playing golf. It's a glitch. Sometimes the units get stuck standing when they die. Oh, yes, cavalry charging in the uniform square. They are. What the French seem to be trying to do is slow down this rear guard so they can demolish it bit by bit. Ooh, that was a beautiful square formed by the, what is that unit? I feel like that's a combat gen or something. Well, yeah, it's a race, guys. That's all that's left on the field. HRE still have this LOC, though. They have 1 or 2 random troops going to different various LOCs to try to hold. It seems that France is just marching to the corner of the map, but at this point it'd be better just to stand and fight, especially in the tree line. Hold this tree line and let the rest of the French come to you. You probably will lose your army, but it's better than getting shot while you're marching and them routing anyway. You know, just saying. Unless they're hoping the French catch up to them and then they can turn around and be a pain in the side, but they seem to be routing a lot faster than, you know, being able to do anything. Now, one thing I think that the coalition will have to keep in mind is that they're going to get forced into a corner with a natural river choke point and in a massive river on the other side. They'll be stuck with nowhere to go. I'm going to fast forward a little bit because I don't think anything's actually happening. I don't think the coalition is fighting right now. It's just a bunch of marching. And maybe the coalition wants to just march to the LOC and make a last stand there. Oh no, wait, hold that thought. We have a potential counterattack on this flank. If the coalition pushes down really fast, maybe they can catch this army out really fast. Now they're still pressuring onwards. The HRE aren't going to make it. I think they're too slow moving. They're L3s. Oh, there's some L4. Well, no, those are the UK. L3 compared to the L4. What? Oh, they have an L3 over here. We'll just fast forward here. Still keeping an eye on everything, though. Oh, no, we got a bayonet charge. France is counterattacking. Let's keep fast forwarding here. The French are probably going to start catching up here just with the forest. However, the I don't actually know. I don't know what you do in this situation. Are the HRE going to make a brave stand? French are pretty depleted too. Oh, they have a huge unit of crosshairs. And it would appear the coalition is going to make the last stand here, which they don't really have many options at this point.
This building has fallen to the enemy.
And they're going to turn in face using the HRE to protect their left flank and actually force the French back in front of them. But there is a much vastly larger superior force of French on this right side. All of these guys don't have a general, so the morale will be shaky. So that could be one helpful thing with some Westphalians. Yeah, I know they have Prussians, Westphalians. Here's the Prussians. Some Free Corps maybe? But all are actually very healthy. And the thing going for the Imperials at this point is they have a larger cap presence, so They should be able to win this battle. An allied general has been killed. Who was that? Oh, way in the back. The far other side. France still has not taken its LOC. Looks like we're having a small LOC fight. And the French, not the French, but the coalition seem to be doing with fire volley, they retreat, fire volley, they retreat. And they are knocking out a couple French every time, but then the French get a turn of their own to fire a volley and then advance. So it's kind of exchanging places. And the only reason the French have, or the coalition haven't stopped to stand and fight is just because of this huge flanking force, which is getting closer and closer each time they stop. You see, they are dropping some of these troops very fast. Just that UK machine gun. The thing, the LOC secured behind them, and man, are they just demolishing this French attack here. These guys are getting shot up as they're trying to charge in. Never charge the UK full-on head-on, because you will start taking losses here. And you see the French are actually falling back here. They are not taking this fight very well, and their units are starting to break and take heavy losses. That UK Sting, they've been hitting some of the heavy across the air, actually breaking some of the cavalry here. Another allied general has been killed. Okay, so it's just some French people farming in the back. But the morale looks very good, and this coalition position, they seem to have made it to where the French can't really just attack them. Man, this whole flank could break. If they only had a little cav, they could charge in and just totally shatter this side. Now, there is artillery that the French have, and that is going to be the kryptonite for this coalition. But the UK line infantry have not actually taken heavy losses, so they still have a lot of their fighting strength. Even the ones that have are still in it. And France, I feel like, I mean, they could sit back and have LOC victory. Unless this is not like an LOC tournament match. Maybe it's like death match. I don't know if there's a difference. I don't know if they do some death match and some LOC, or if it's just every time it's death match or LOC. But either way, both sides don't seem to really want to back down here. Now they're forming up in another line. France seems to be focusing, maybe just trying to do one side here, the left side. Oh no, nope, they're falling back. Maybe using their artillery. Try to soften up the coalition. I'm going to fast forward because this is just a back and forth kind of thing. Both sides kind of seem scared to to attack the other at this point. Surprised the French just haven't peeled off and taken all the LLCs, and they just held it. So they're actually going to maybe use their numbers here. Now, this could be a very huge risk for the Imperials. If they split their forces in half and one side is going through the tree line, the coalition could easily push up and attack this side while they're basically separated, while this side is caving in here because they don't have numbers. The coalition does not have numbers, but they could counterattack here while the French are trying to get in position, and actually, that is exactly what they're doing. It's like I could have played this battle. I'm just kidding.
Orders understood.
But the French could roll down the hill quickly enough, so it'll be the HRE and 2 of the coalition or the UK troops' job to hold them off as they come pouring over the hill while the rest attack. And you see France definitely doesn't like it. They are falling back, or at least pushing up all the reserves they got. Their artillery is going to start. Oh, they were limbering up too. Oh, so artillery's not even getting a chance to fire. Now this cav is going to have a very, very important role to play here, and I'm surprised they haven't tried to use the road in some line infantry. Like over here, move the cav over to this side, roll down the road, have infantry swing around the flank, push down the flank at the same time here, and you can crush them. But you can see they are definitely going to go in, force them into square. I don't think the, are they going to form? Yep, they form square. That's all you can do at this point. And the French are going to go in for melee, and oh, this may break the coalition's line as line infantry are pushing up to support that infantry or that cav push. Let's see what the UK can do here. Oh, beautiful counter volley though. They may actually break some of these French. Oh man. Now France is of course going to in turn push up the rest of their forces here. This is it, and I think the French actually do not have what it takes to push here now. They have nothing on this side of that. Crosshairs barely in this fight. They're going to throw in the rest of their line infantry. The coalition, they need to start counter-volleying the bayonet charges. Oh wow, they have thrown back the French over here on this right flank. France just unfortunately couldn't. There was just such some beautiful counter volleying to the charge, which is how you have to play the coalition, the UK specifically. Is melee is a detriment to you usually, but if you can have a unit on the flank volleying the enemy as they're charging one of your line infantry, you can break them. And you can see here they have one infantry holding, and it's eager. It's not even. It's just winded. And the rest were just shooting, and they broke them so easily. On this side, the HRE clutching it out, holding the flank. The coalition may actually have this. The coalition may have this. Now, I saw another LLC taken by the Imperials, so who knows who has... Oh, it was this one. They took this one. So now the French have that LLC, so I don't know who has the most LLCs at this point. I don't even care that much. It was a good battle. Either way, I mean, this one, obviously, I think the French are going to lose now. The coalition bided their time, and the French tried to go for that flank and split their forces. They should have kept them together. Maybe, I don't know. I don't know if there was a way to really win that as the French or not. I'm sure there's a way with the massive infantry, I feel like, in the cavalry, they could have maybe done it. And they are still going to use their cavalry and throw them in here. These guys are under the 44-man unit, so they cannot form square. And they're going to probably break. But the French, I mean, the French still have to deal with some more very strong UK troops. And their ally just broke over here due to the general dying. Like I said, still a stroke of luck, the HRE killing this French general. It basically made this French army almost ineffective. Just because the morale probably was a little bit shaky to begin with, and then they just shattered it. They picked it up and threw it on the ground. The morale just went ka-ching, or not ka-ching. That's a good thing. It just went exploded. That's my sound effect for explosion. And it was just dead. Now these poor French troops. Yeah, they're breaking. So it's a LOC race. There's an HRE force left marching down this road, so they're maybe going to go for an LSC over here. Maybe. I may have to skip to the end, guys, because at this point, yeah, it's... let's just fast forward here. The French have been defeated on the field of battle. There, of course, is barely any coalition forces left. Obviously, they're going to probably get run to the LOC. I may skip to the end and just tell you who took what LOC, or I'll just skip to when the LOCs get taken. So I'll just check back in a second, guys, and we'll go over the stats of this battle and who won. All right, guys, so actually quite a lot's developed here. There's still a fight for this LOC. France had this one. They're throwing in the rest of those troops. They have a general as well. Fighting for this LOC, and I think they're basically going to take it. Fighting for this LOC over here, and I think they'll take it. But the Imperials have
We have taken a
this
building,
one,
sir.
this one, and fighting for this one. So there are three LOCs versus 1, 2, 3. If they take it, 4. So it's gonna be a close one. It actually. Uh-oh. 1, 2, 3. Oh no! Wait, this is gonna be a tie. It's a draw. Wait, the French had this one. They had this one in the back, and they had this one. I think it's a tie. That is crazy. Wow. All right, you guys correct me if I'm wrong, but I think that was a tie, a draw. I don't know. Maybe they'll look at who had the most forces on the field at the very end, and that's how they judge it. But the French playing as the Templars, the XW playing as the Coalition. Well played on both sides. A very close battle. You can see the kills here. The Coalition. I mean, the UK got. Oh, they got amazing kills. Unfortunately, this Cav Corps, the 7-point Austria, didn't get a lot of kills. Now maybe they routed a bunch of troops, and that could be why they didn't have a lot of kills. But they could have been effective. Pacifist 19, man, they had some high kills on the Coalition side. Even Prussia got 12. Now, of course, on the other side, you have France, 1109, 299. Yeah, this one, unfortunately, Peach's general died pretty early on. And as a 6-pointer, without his general, he wasn't able to really do a ton. Really handicapped him very early on. That's unfortunate. You have Lipton with 1578 and Valentin with 833. You see the Coalition. Oh man, those Royal Welsh Fusiliers, the King's German Legion. I mean, all the infantry got in the hundreds, almost 200s. Man, so did very well, very very well. Arthur Wellington did not get any kills. Sadly, he lost 4 men, but he survived. So, all right, guys. Well, that is the battle for today. I hope you guys enjoyed. Thank you so much for joining me. Those who keep asking, I am going to get to 9.2. I have a lot of replays like this that I want to record first. And if you can't tell, there's a reason why I'm waiting, because these are some juicy, amazing replays. I will be doing some more Napoleon's Eagles replays and streaming that as well. So, a lot to look forward to. The channel, we keep growing, more views and more subscribers. So welcome to you that are new. Thank you so much for choosing to support my channel. It means quite a lot to me. It's very exciting to hop on every morning and see, all the stats just going up. There's a green up arrow, meaning that everything is just, increasing in view time, watch time, subscribers. And man, without you guys, it would not be a YouTube channel. That's for sure. It would just be me talking to a screen and no one watching it, which would be very sad. So keep doing what you guys are doing. And I can't ask any more. You guys are awesome. Well, anyway, guys, you guys all have a great rest of your day. Stay safe, and I will catch you all in another video.